Hi Cancer, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if this is your first time here. Make sure that you click the subscribe button down below so you won't miss out on any further videos. So this is going to be a love and spirituality reading for the last half of September, and this is going to apply to Cancer Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. So whenever you watch my tarot readings, make sure that you check out your Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. And I will also be doing an extended version of this video, and it will be linked in the description box down below. So immediately when I'm tapping into your energy, I'm feeling a bit, what's the word, somber, not necessarily drained, but it's kind of like that period of time after you've gone through something draining and now you're just kind of like chill and kind of relaxed. I'm getting that type of energy from you. So let's see what this energy is about. I'm going to pull 3 cards for the past position. Hold on, let me fix my camera. Okay, so let's pull 3 cards for the past position. Sorry if that, when I just banged the cards on the table, that sounded so loud in my ears, so I can imagine how loud that's going to be on camera. So, let's see. 3 cards for the past position for Cancer. The 4 of Swords, the 2 of Swords in reverse, and the Hermit in reverse. So the 4 of Swords is in the upright here. So just like I was saying, it's the card of rest and rejuvenation, a card of meditation. I'm feeling kind of like I'm in a meditative state as I'm tapping into your energy. So in the recent past, I'm getting the energy of some of you have been in this meditative state, and it could be spilling over into the present as well. But it's like you taking a rest, you taking a break, taking a hiatus. I'm thinking that this has a lot to do with spirituality or religion, something along those lines, because I'm just feeling like it's a physical rest, but I feel like it's a spiritual rest, as in you've been through like a very difficult cycle and now you're kind of turning to spirituality or religion or your faith to give you like a peace of mind, is what I'm feeling. And then we have the 2 of Swords in the reverse. So there could have been a decision that you did not make in the past, is what I'm getting. The 2 of Swords is talking about feeling like you're not balanced enough to make a decision. So you could have let go of a situation without actually choosing one route or another, kind of just letting things be, and that kind of giving you a peace of mind, is what I'm seeing. You could have also been dealing with someone who took on that energy of them needing to make a choice or make a decision and them refusing to, and you kind of having no choice but to kind of retreat and kind of rest. And that's the thing about Cancer energy as well. Cancer is the water sign that kind of has the ability to stay present but also retreat at the same time. So it's like with Pisces being another water sign, and I have a Pisces moon, so I can kind of speak on this from experience. Pisces have a tendency to have to retreat fully from a situation. Like, we can't stay present in a situation that is kind of hurting us, or that's making us uncomfortable. We have to fully retreat from it to like protect our emotions. But because Cancer, you know, you're the crab, you have that outer shell, like that outer coating on you, you can stay present in a situation, but you have the ability to withdraw your emotions even though you're staying present. So I feel like that's kind of what's going on here. So I feel like the rest and recovery that you're going through is more so you withdrawing your emotions. You may not be actually withdrawing. The Hermit card being here, though, I might have spoken too soon. The Hermit card here is talking about isolation. So maybe you are actually withdrawing. Yeah, I might have spoken a little too soon on that. Let me pour one more on that. Ooh. Okay, the Queen of Pentacles comes out in the reverse, and the 2 of Cups in the reverse. So it may be that you are emotionally withdrawing or retreating from a situation with someone specific, with this 2 of Cups being here. Usually this 2 of Cups is the soulmate card, someone who you have a great deal in common with, is what I'm seeing. Like someone who you can really see yourself in is the energy that I'm getting. And I don't always get that energy for that card, but that's what I'm picking up on for you. It's like someone who you have have a great deal in common with, that you can see a lot of yourself in, and that's why you have such compassion for this person, or that's why you feel so connected to this person, because you see so much of yourself in them. But I feel like you are having to retreat or isolate yourself from them because maybe you see too much of yourself in them. It's like this person may be acting like a mirror to you, and they're reflecting things about yourself that make you uncomfortable, even if you're unaware of it. Sometimes the things that make us uncomfortable in another person can actually be things within us that we are basically, like a light is being shined on certain things within us. I know I mentioned this in one of my other videos, so I'll use this as an example. I have a tendency to withdraw from selfish people. Like, I can't stand them at all, and it's for good reason. Obviously, no one wants to be around a selfish person, but when I did some soul searching, I realized that the reason I really can't stand selfish people is because they reflect back in me something that I lack, which is the ability to kind of stand up for myself and to kind of like put myself first. So I feel like for some of you, you may need to look at this situation with this person and kind of see, yes, you are retreating from them because of something that has gone on, but also you may be retreating from them because they are showing you something within yourself that may make you uncomfortable. And this may be a great opportunity for spiritual growth, because the Hermit card being here in the reverse, this is talking about you going into isolation, but you're not really taking the time out to evaluate the situation, or to evaluate yourself, and to evaluate the ways in which you can grow from this situation. So the Queen of Pentacles being here in the reverse, this is obviously a terrible card to have for Cancers, because Cancers are all about having that stable environment. Like, you guys need stability. All signs need stability, of course, but especially Cancers. Like, Cancers is like the homebody sort of the zodiac. Like, Cancers are the maternal energy. They like to feel safe and secure, especially in their home environment, and it just looks like this person does not make you feel that way. So once you start to feel that, that's when you start to retreat and go into your shell. And I think that this is saying that yes, you have the right, or you have every reason to retreat, but make sure that when you're in the process of retreating, that you're really looking at this from a spiritual standpoint, and you're looking at how you can use this to kind of shine a light on yourself so you can evolve as a person. I feel like I want to pull one more for that Two of Swords. What is this Two of Swords about? Then the King of Pentacles comes up. So this is definitely counterparts. The King of Pentacles, you come up as the Queen of Pentacles, or the other person does, and then there's the King of Pentacles. So these are definitely two people. So this is talking about a soulmate connection. So with both people coming up in the reverse, I feel like whoever this King of Pentacles energy is, like I said, they did not make a decision that they were supposed to make. It's like they kind of were supposed to make some type of choice, or they were supposed to make a change, or like they were supposed to take some type of different action and they didn't. It's like they kind of took the selfish route, is what I'm seeing, and that's why it made you feel off balance, or made you feel insecure, or made you feel like your connection was not stable, and that's why you had to disconnect, or that's why you had to retreat, or they had to retreat. But the Two of Swords is also about just mentally being imbalanced. So if you were dealing with a person who you had to cut off recently, and you really don't understand like the way that things went, it very well could be that this person is feeling mentally imbalanced within themselves. So it's personal, but it's not personal. Like, I'm getting the energy of someone who, it's like they can't even make solid decisions in their own life, or for their own future, or for the betterment of themselves. So it's very hard for them to maintain a connection. So like I said, it's personal, but it's not really personal. It's like this person, if you were dealing with a person that you had to disconnect from, like I said, they're confused. Like, I'm getting a very confused energy, is what I'm seeing. So that was in the past. Let me pull for the present position. I do feel like I said, if this person was making you feel unstable, or making you feel like you did not have a solid future with them, or that you can't rely on them, of course it makes perfect sense for you to retreat. And so you did the right thing there. This is like, I have a very sad energy. Like, it's like I did Scorpio and Pisces already, and this reading is the energy that I'm feeling in my heart space the most. Like, I'm feeling like this very, it's like this very sad energy, but it's a gentle sadness, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes any sense. It's like a sadness, but it's not like a devastating, like breakdown on the floor crying sadness. It's just like this very, like, very soft type of sadness that I'm feeling. Like, you, what is this feeling? It's like you feeling like sad that the situation went the way it went, but you're in a state of acceptance. I feel like that's what I'm feeling, like acceptance. You're accepting how things are, even though you're sad about how things are. I'm not really picking up on any like resentment. I'm just feeling like this pure type of sadness. Okay, the Hierophant and the Nine of Pentacles came out. So the Hierophant talks about tradition and going about things in a traditional manner. It usually talks about like society and societal norms and going with the flow. So some of you are becoming individuals, like you're growing into your own, and you could be, even though the Hierophant is in the upright, I'm reading it as a reversal in this instinct for some reason. So I'm just going to go with what my intuition is telling me. I'm reading it as you kind of stepping outside of societal norms, or you stepping outside of patterns or beliefs or things like that. It could be, I'm getting that it could be beliefs about yourself that you formerly had, and it's like after going through this cycle, or after going through this situation, it's like you're changing the way that you view yourself, is what I'm seeing. It's like it's helping you, the situation is helping you to grow as a person, and it's showing you like a strength within you that you didn't know you had. So it's like you could have saw yourself one way and now you see yourself a different way. Like for example, before this situation, you could have saw yourself as someone who is kind of meek, who doesn't stand up for themselves and things like that. But then like you get into this connection, and because of the things that you go through, it can now make you feel like, okay, I am strong. I am able to kind of speak up and stand up for myself. I'm not as meek or as weak as I thought I was. That type of thing. So that is a positive energy. So let me pull 3 more for the present. The 3 of Pentacles is here. Oh, whole deck wanted to fall. Hold on one second. The Hangman in reverse. Okay, way too many cards. Like 10 cards fell, so I can't take any of those. Okay. Okay, I'm actually being guided to put these 2 cards back in the deck and reshuffle because all those cards fell out. Sorry, folks. 1 second. Okay. Let me pull 3 for the present for Cancer. 8 of Swords. The 6 of Cups in reverse. Why did Scorpio get that exact card in that exact position? What is going on here? Okay, so right off the bat, I see at the top of the deck the 9 of Wands. Okay, a clear message is not coming through for that. This card usually talks about the past and like trauma from the past, and kind of looking back on the past and kind of being triggered by it, but I'm not getting that energy for you. Weird, because that card is usually really straightforward. Let me pull 1 more for that card. Okay, I know exactly what it's saying then. So with it being clarified by the Magician, this is a very positive card. I feel like in the present moment, if you're not doing this, you're needing to do this, using your past and your past pain as a way to manifest what you want. So looking at your past and seeing everything that went wrong, and understanding that the things that went wrong in your past were just meant to go wrong so that you can see what you don't want. So I feel like a lot of you are taking on a very optimistic outlook. Like, okay, for example, if you were in a love situation where the person was selfish, where they were mean, where they were hurtful, you can look at it like, oh, like I'm so upset that I allowed myself to be with that type of person. Or you can look at it as, okay, now I know for a fact that in the future I don't want a selfish person. I don't want a mean person. I don't want a person that just doesn't treat me well. It's like we come here, when I say here, I mean life, reincarnation. We come here to experience duality. So we are able to experience things that we don't want, and that basically sets us up to be pushed towards the things that we do want. You see what I'm saying? And then you get into another situation or another connection where you're more grateful for someone who is the opposite of what you used to deal with in the past. So it teaches you about gratitude, and it also teaches you about your preferences and what you prefer in a person. Or if it's not a person, it could just be a situation, career, friends, anything in life really. So I'm seeing here the 8 of Swords. And as you can see in the 8 of Swords, it's a woman who is kind of bound and stuck. And the thing about this is that she is only stuck by her thoughts. So it's only her thoughts that are keeping her stuck. She's not truly stuck. If she were to put in a little more effort, meaning if she were to change her thought patterns or change her perspective, she may be able to get out of this state of mind. But it looks like your mind is kind of cloudy in the present moment, like kind of murky. You could be a little bit confused, and when you're in a state of confusion, obviously it keeps you stuck. If you're in a romantic situation where the person is keeping you stuck, they're keeping you stuck intentionally to keep you around. Get rid of them. That's a message I'm hearing right off the bat. If someone is constantly keeping you in a state of confusion, get rid of them. Like, I'm hearing like a very specific message with that. Yeah, because they're disturbing your peace of mind. If it's that you're not in the situation and you're kind of just stuck, confused about the past, I feel like this energy is going to fall away from you eventually. It's going to take some time to. But you may need to stop trying to figure things out, or you may need to stop trying to go over and over in your head about, gosh, what happened? Like, how could I have done this different? Or what could have, like, could this person have done? It's like going over a scenario over and over, but in a way that you're not finding a solution, like in a way that you are just stressing yourself out even more. So you're needing to kind of let that type of energy rest when it comes to your thought process. So I'm also seeing in the heart of your reading the Six of Cups. So the Six of Cups being in the reverse, I feel like a lot of you who have left somebody in the past, you're not wanting to reconcile with them. Yeah, I'm feeling like if someone, because I just keep hearing decision, if someone chose someone else over you, or someone made a decision that just made you feel insecure, like you weren't their first choice, it's like you're heavily thinking about that, and because of that you don't want to reconcile with this person. Like in the present moment, you're letting that energy of, it's like that hope that you maybe had of reconciliation, like you're letting that fall away from you. If that's not the case for some of you, it's like with the Six of Cups being in the reverse, this talks about you sorry, I'm getting too many messages at one time. This is talking about you going back into your head, into the past, but I feel like it's in a negative way. Be careful of this, because I'm thinking what's coming to mind is inner child work that I do. Because okay, you can look this up too, inner child work, shadow work. Sometimes it's a process that some people do where they will go back in their head into their childhood and kind of change the memory of their childhood, and that kind of helps to restructure their subconscious mind. And I'm getting this energy of, it's like when I do this, I go back in the past in my mind into my childhood, and I go back to a specific traumatic event, and I kind of like change the outcome, like how I wanted to be treated in that moment, how like someone would come in and actually save me in that moment. And it really does help to soothe me and to kind of restructure my subconscious mind. I feel like some of you are taking that route, but you go back into your head and you see the traumatic event, and some of you are not actually changing the thought. Like you're just kind of like thinking about some things that really happened to you that traumatized you when you were little, and it's really overwhelming you. So some of you probably have no clue what inner child work is or shadow work. It's not like you're doing the shadow work wrong. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that some of you don't even know what it is, but it's like I'm just using that as an example for you going back in your head and kind of replaying your traumatic event over and over. I hope that made sense. So if you're not doing inner child work, it's probably best to not go back in your mind and replay a traumatic event, unless, like I said, you're doing inner child work or shadow work where you're restructuring the thought. I feel like for some of you, you're going back in your mind. This situation could have been something that's very triggering for you. So you're going back in your past about it. If it's not that you're going back in your head about a childhood event, it's you going back in your head about a romantic event or a romantic partnership. And it's like you replaying the negative outcome over and over and over. And it's like you need to be mindful of that, because every time you do that, it kind of tricks your mind or your body into thinking that it's happening all over again. Like your body can't tell the difference between something that happened in the past, something that happened in the future, and something that happened now. When you think about it, it's playing in your mind. It's causing your body chemistry to react as if it's happening right now. So be very careful of that. The Knight of Wands, I'm going to pull one more for that. Knight of Wands, King of Cups in reverse, the Four of Cups. I really don't try to make these readings negative, but I feel like I have to say this as a disclaimer because sometimes I feel like my readings are so negative. I set the intention of attracting people to my readings who need guidance. So sometimes if it sounds negative, it's only because I set the intention that people who are going through a negative situation, that they can come to here and to hear messages for guidance. So if it sounds negative, that's kind of why. But I'm trying to, like I said, I set the intention of turning a negative situation into a positive and giving people peace and clarity. So that's why. And I had to say that because someone mentioned like there's so many reversals in all of your videos, and that's because I set the intention of people who are going through something to come here and get guidance. Okay, so with the Knight of Wands and the King of Cups in reverse and the Four of Cups in the reverse, so I feel like this is talking about a past person or a past situation that could have been a Scorpio that you were dealing with, but I feel like it's more so a person who just was emotionally unavailable, who did not put you first, who did not put your feelings first. And I feel like this is positive though, because you're coming out of this energy. You're coming out of kind of pining for them or longing for them. Like you're retreating your emotions from them. So that's a positive thing. If that's the case, then I feel like you're learning your sense of self-worth with the Nine of Pentacles coming out here. Like through this situation, you've learned about your self-worth. You've learned not to tie your self-worth up in another person. And because you're a Cancer, and because, like I said, you crave stability, you're learning, or you're seeing that within yourself, that you need to only invest in people who can give you that longevity and that stability. You see? And I feel like that first starts with investing in yourself and investing in your own happiness and giving yourself that stability. So I feel like that's a lesson that you are learning through the situation. So I'm going to pull 4 cards for the future, 3 cards, sorry, for the future outcome, and we're going to look at those in the extended. Why did all 3 water signs get this? Oh my god. The 6 of Wands in the reverse. The 8 of Pentacles. The 6 of Pentacles. So the 6 of Wands in reverse talks about something that was not a success, something that did not have a victory in the end, but we're going to look at that in the extended to see what that's about. The 8 of Cups, the 8 of Pentacles talks about in the upright, this is like the Virgo card of being very meticulous, working very hard, kind of laser focusing in on something. So in the upright, it's kind of doing the opposite of that and not wanting to focus on something, not putting energy and effort into something. So we will take a look at that. And then the 6 of Pentacles talks about an imbalanced situation. It could talk about a lot of things actually, but the gist of it is an imbalanced situation. Like I said, I won't know until I actually pull clarifier cards for you in the extended. So that is it. I will leave the link to the description box, link to the extended in the description box down below. And thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys over on Vimeo.